My name is Becky Mailman.
My name is Sandra Turriago.
Hi, my name is Candice, McLean.
So my name is Makayla, and I'm a mechanical insulator.
My name's Alexis Solomon. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba originally. I now live in Moncton, New Brunswick, and I work for Erman's Plumbing and Heating.
Tina Young, construction electrician, and I'm from Oshawa, Ontario.
My name's Liz Sandwith, and I'm a Red Seal Refrigeration Air Conditioning Technician.
My name's Jasmine Moore. I'm a Red Seal Pipefitter, Steamfitter Pipefitter, I guess you could say.
I'm from Windsor, Nova Scotia. I work for Erman's Plumbing, and I am an apprentice plumber.
I am an apprentice carpenter. I'm from Colombia, but I've been living in New Brunswick for the past 4 years.
I'm a Red Seal welder, Red Seal Boilermaker. I have my level 1 welding inspector too, actually, and I'm an apprentice millwright.
My name is Ashley Ritchie. I am qualified as a Red Seal as a carpenter, bricklayer, and a construction craft worker, and I hold a Bachelor of Adult Education.
I used to be a cook for 10 years, and then I was looking for a job. My friend was hiring, who is also a plumber here in Moncton.
Just before high school, I was starting to kind of think about, okay, like, what do I want to do? And I used to weld a lot with my dad in the backyard, just like, he's a fisherman, so I'd weld on his boat or his trailers or whatnot, and I was like, maybe that would be a good idea. So I was like, if I don't like it, well, so be it. I'll have a trade in my pocket, and then I can do something else, but I ended up really enjoying the work to it.
I originally wanted to be a cop. My dad was a correctional officer for 40 plus years in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
I got laid off from I worked in market research for many years.
Well, I worked at La Senza and American Eagle for 10 years, retail management. Once the pandemic hit, I thought this isn't a career path for me. I'm replaceable. I'm at the top of my pay scale. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. So somebody said, why not trades? I said, well, you're not wrong. I can't work with electrical, it scares me to death, but I can work with poop and water.
Yeah, so I basically filled out an application for our union hall, and then they indenture you as an apprentice, and then you go through your apprenticeship working at different places until you get your Red Seal.
When I was going through high school, I was able to access a co-op education program where I thought I wanted to do something with animals. So I went and worked at a veterinary hospital for my co-op placement.
When I was finding myself in a place where I needed to look for a job, my husband saw in a bus, it said, New Brunswick need tradeswomen, we want you here. And there was a phone and I called and it was meant to be.
It was honestly one of my coworkers. Her dad worked as a carpenter and a jack of all trades, and he recommended that I've been good with my hands. I know what I'm doing. I've worked with my dad way too many times in the past for home projects. So I thought, you know what, why not? Let's just take the leap and go for it.
And I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore at 37 years old and decided to go to school to take a trade. So I went and took refrigeration air conditioning, which I had the role model of my then spouse, who's also in that trade. So I had a very real example of what day in, day out looked like. And I wanted to retrain to be able to make more money, and it just made sense. I was the first woman in New Brunswick to get their Red Seal in refrigeration air conditioning.
Oh, the first day. He took me on a job for 2 hot water tanks in the basement of this person's house. And the hot water tanks were 100 pounds, and I'm 5'2". So we carried those out. I felt so accomplished by the end. I was like, this is amazing. I want to be a plumber.
I just liked the tool pouch. That's where I got it from. I saw one when I was doing finished carpentry, and this guy walked in with this biggest tool pouch, and I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm an electrician. I was like, wow, that's a cool tool pouch, man. So in 2009, when they offered to send me to school, I said, can I be an electrician? And they said, not a problem. Do you know anything about it? I said, nope, but I'm gonna learn. And that's how it all started.
Seeing things that very few other people get to see. A lot of the work is done on a rooftop for HVAC, and you'd get to be up on multiple story buildings. I can remember working at a mine, and I'd be 12 stories up, and you'd just see the sites that not often people get to see across the land. Or in a city, you're up on a roof again, looking down at the busy streets and that sort of thing. I thought that was always very interesting.
I love everything about my job. The main thing I love the most is the problem solving. Instant gratification is the best part about plumbing.
At the end of the day, I get to see people happy about what I do. I like everything about it. It's weird, if You love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Getting it complete and just telling the customer the good news of what you did, how you did it, fixing a problem they didn't know they had in a way they didn't understand how you fixed it.
I travel around quite a lot, so I like seeing different places where you're seeing the behind the scenes of how the insulation's actually working and how it is preventing the heat loss.
My favorite part of the job is really just the transformation aspect. I do also love getting to the top of the scaffold. When you're to the top of the building, right, and you're finally there, you get the nice city view. You get to see aspects of your community that a lot of other people don't, but really just transforming the exterior. You make the place that you live look so much better, people feel so much better, and it just has such a, I guess, more ripple effect impact than you think when you just show up to the job site every day.
I really enjoy TIG welding. Like, to me, it's like I'm like in my own little operation room. Like, you have your own little stuff and you're sitting there and you're welding on a boiler tubes. So there's just so many skills that you can learn from TIG welding, and where I'm at with that, like, I just love it. Like, there's just, you put your gloves on and then you're just going, and it's very, very tedious. So I find when I go into work and I know that I'm welding on tubes or any sort of pressurized system and I know I'm gonna be TIGging, I'm like, yeah, that's my jam. It was intimidating. I never had any like bad experience about it. I think it comes like from the positive attitude I had and how I presented myself as well. Like, I'm like, hey, like, I'm just here to, to pull a wrench as well, like,
When I suggest things, it feels like it falls on deaf ears sometimes, but eventually they come around when they know I'm right.
So yeah, no, there's been so many people throughout my journey that I'm surprised, because before I came into this, I had the idea, and many people told me like, oh, it's gonna be like, you will have to fight, you're a woman, and telling you, oh, you're not good, or putting you down. But to be honest, it has been the total opposite. I find that people are open to share what they know.
Of course, like, being women in the trades is intimidating. Like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like, it is. Like, we've came a long way. When I first started, there wasn't any girls in my welding course. Like, I'd go to Alberta, like, I never seen any women around me. I was like, oh my gosh. Now it's a lot better. I wish it was developing faster, but it's getting better.
One of the challenges is, I guess, having them trust you on your point. So building that trust is a big thing in this environment, and I think gaining that trust is a true reward. Going into a man's trade, you're a female going into a plumbing shop, you don't know what to expect, but the people that were there just made every day so enjoyable. Good people, good workers. It's a family.
Not once have I found it challenging. And I feel it's because I go in as a worker. I don't separate myself. I'm not walking in and saying, I'm a woman. No, I'm an electrician. There was one job, they brought in a pink porta potty for me, and I brought them the key back and said, get it out. Bring in another blue one. We're all workers here. And I think that's where I've had a really good experience, because I've never separated myself.
It's kind of hit or miss. You definitely have some people that don't want you there. Sometimes they can feel like the loudest people in the room, but the overwhelming majority of people do support you and do want you there. So you kind of just have to focus on those people and remind yourself that you're there for you, not for anyone else.
Where I am talking to tradespeople all the time, even the trades culture is changing. People, it's not live to work, it's work to live kind of thing. So people want to be happy and safe and healthy at work. A lot of people now can see the many options that they have, that a career doesn't necessarily have a gender to it, and can see role models of other women in skilled trades that are able to go like, that looks interesting, I want to do it.
Myself, I've had no issues. I know some people that may have, but yeah, honestly, going into it, everybody was really open-armed. It's more of a, yeah, you are there to do a task. As long as you can complete that task effectively, you really won't have much of an issue. And if you do, you just speak your mind about it.
I'm fortunate to be a member of UA Local 325, UA Canada, who has a maternity and parental benefits for workers. So I think I was the first woman to utilize this, actually. And I worked up until I was about 6 months pregnant with my most recent little guy, 4 years old.
Oh, super welcoming, super open. All my classmates were super excited to be friends with me and like chat with me, ask me what I was interested in plumbing, and it was just really easy to integrate into the MBCC.
We have a great mentoring group called New Boots. They support, networking and communication and women in the trades. I find if ever you want to look for pre-employment, they're always there to give a help. If you have any questions or stuff, there's a good mentor program. Like I'm on that mentor program. Even if she's across the country or across New Brunswick, it's like, hey, I want to get into, yes, what's your questions? Shoot, I'll answer whatever you want. I'll guide you the right way and do the best I can. But on the construction site itself, there's always someone that's gonna, kind of put you under their wing. And, if you're in a group of just guys, there's always a couple that are gonna, kind of take interest in that and help you out, right? You're never left in the dark. There's always going to be, help.
It's okay to fail. It's okay to get lower grades growing up and then find that passion when you're older to really excel in what you can do and what you will do.
I find a positive attitude goes a long way. I've always said it, have a positive attitude, shoot for the stars.
You don't fail without doing, and if you're doing, you're trying. And trying is the next step to finding out what fits you in your lifetime.
Be open-minded and try not to get discouraged too easily, especially when it comes to women. You might not be able to lift as heavy as the guys, or you might have to take 2 hands to do the rivet gun, but you can still do it. Just because you can't do it the exact way as someone else doesn't mean there isn't a way that you're not capable of doing it.
I absolutely think that, now's the time for if you're interested in getting into a skilled trade and you're a woman. That's women are getting in and succeeding because they really want it and they really want to prove themselves, and you just want to make a good wage. At the end of the day, these are decent to high paid wages, and you just want to be able to support your family, support yourself, have and do the things that you want. You want secure work, you want to have benefits, you want what everyone wants. So we've come a long way. We have a long way to go, but things are absolutely improving.
One myth I would like to bust is that you have to be extremely strong and muscular to be able to excel in a construction trade. I'm not saying there's not aspects of a trade that require lifting and sometimes on the heavier end of the scale of lifting, but the reality is if you can lift a child, and people oftentimes can very much envision people carrying children around, especially females, that often weigh more than the material that they're carrying on a construction site. So I find that conflicting to hear people say that you need to be stronger, yet they can envision you in a different role where you actually carry more weight. Yes, you have to be ready for a physically natured job. It's a physically fit job, but it's certainly not one that you're incapable of doing.
If you can just do your job, keep your head down, follow instructions well, and ask questions when questions need to be asked, because not everybody knows what they need to do going in. I don't know everything, but I'm there to learn. I'm eager to learn. That's the biggest thing. Be eager to learn.
You can try 3 careers and still not feel fit, but you're trying, and you're gonna find that thing that just fits your needs and your liking, and you're gonna excel in it.